Good day everybody, today we're going to look at Volga River, a new map in Battlefield 1 in the newest expansion in the name of the Tsar. Let's have a look, shall we? So, straight away when we started playing this map, there was a horrendous kind of snowstorm, which, let me tell you, obviously you can see there's been like 50 tickets or so gone by. It was a lot worse when it started, and it kind of slowly dims down over about 4 or 5 minutes. Now, I don't dislike this weather effect because even though it's quite intense, it actually looks quite nice, like visually. And also there are you know, Mark V British land ships, the medium tank on this map, so it's kind of useful as a infantry because it's quite a flat, fairly flat, open, snowy fields kind of map with a castle smack bang in the centre, and kind of, you know, being able to escape the tank's wrath was kind of nice. It was nice to have that kind of cover of the snowy storm, the blizzard, the tundra. This map, unlike Galicia, is a little bit more, I don't know really, it's more covered and it's also more open. There are large spaces of open ground, and then there's also like lots of built up little areas where you can have like a good scrap. So this bit here, obviously, quite just an open field with a road and stuff. But then down there where I'm shooting, that tank's kind of attacked a point which is basically like a little well, not really a town. It's like 2 or 3 buildings kind of clumped together. The way that the points are arranged in this map is that you've got 2 as your gimme, 3 down the middle, and then 2 at the enemy's kind of gimme, like north and south. So it kind of means that basically each army, here you go, you can see this, each army will have 2 points, well, should have their 2 points closest to their spawn, and then you usually would contest over the middle. I think that's the kind of combat that they're edging for with this kind of gameplay design. You can see now that obviously the snowstorm's really kind of clearing up, just the last few bits of kind of snowy wind vapour. There's a little, that church spire can be shot down. I shot it with a tank. And generally, yeah, quite open map, but also lots of cover. I know that's a bit contradictory, but you'll kind of see what I mean when you get to play it. I would say this one's at least, I think maybe a little bit better than Galicia for me. I really like Galicia, but I think I like this one even more. I don't know, you know, I think maybe we need to play it more. Maybe we need to play it with the eggs, with the crew, 64 player, and just kind of when people are really being sweaty and try-harding, then maybe it'll be less fun. But like when I was playing Galicia, I was just kind of really just running around and just trying to see as much of the map as I could, because, well, it looks really cool. It's, you know, all the snowy ground, the crunching of the boots, just something quite different. That it's nice to have that variation in the maps. The French DLC, They Shall Not Pass, kind of, some of the assets looked a bit reused, and it kind of felt like we were playing, even though it was a different map, it felt like the same, you know? Whereas each one of the maps in this DLC are very, very different. Like Albion, for instance, is probably the most different map we've had in any new map that's been added to the game. So there's instantly something special about this map, I think. Just, I don't know, it feels very, very different, but also very familiar. It feels like a Battlefield map that I want to play, like traditional kind of conquest, really large battles. And obviously, there's only, I think I mentioned, but I think there's 1 tank per team. So even though there is like a medium tank, it's not that powerful really. I like this long shadow because obviously the sun's setting behind me, so that's quite a cool effect. Obviously, it's just the lighting, but I liked it. So what was I saying? Yes, there's only like 1 tank per team, so it's not going to be an absolute tank festival. And I don't recall seeing any planes, which is quite the sigh of relief. And there's a few horses and maybe a truck. I can't remember. I don't think I saw any trucks actually. I think this map would be really, really cool with that single shot rifle mode. Although you would definitely need some way of dealing with the tanks, or perhaps you'd just disable them. But I kind of like the idea of like having weaker infantry with the single shot rifles, and kind of the tanks being this kind of presence that is just kind of moving around the map and really requires your attention. obviously, if one team loses, like on Tsaritzin, if one team loses their medium tank, the other team then has quite an advantage. Obviously, in standard 64-player Conquest, there's going to be so many assaults. You're probably not going to see those tanks very much at all. Look how quickly this one's going down. But I think if you play wisely with that one tank that your team gets, the map's quite large, it's quite open. You're going to be able to use that tank quite effectively, I think, to kind of suppress points and shell them. Maybe even use the mortar configuration on that tank and kind of sit it quite safely away in the back. There's one here, which obviously I was medic, I couldn't do anything about it. But I kind of kept this clip in because it illuminates the hilliness and kind of, even though it's an open field, you do actually have a little bit of cover. Unlucky Star Snipe, I just killed you in your spawn. Yeah, so as I was saying earlier about the tanks, I did actually get a go in them, and I think I kept this one alive for a little while. There's another tank, he's on fire there. Going to finish him off, and then I think I reverse out pretty quickly and try and keep myself alive, because, well, I'm on fire, and that's not what tanks are meant to do. Actually, looking at this, I suppose my health wasn't actually that low. It's like I'm 80-something, and, you know, the flames seem to just be superficial damage at this point. There we go. So this central point, I think it's a little bit too kind of... it's not ideal for kind of rocking around in the tank. I just did like a nice little drift slide U-turn there. I don't know what the hell I was doing here. But I think if you play properly and use the tank wisely, now obviously this might not be the best example of that, but if you were to do that, I think you'd give your team quite an advantage. Because, you know, it's one tank per team. There is actually, I'm going to take back what I said about the large open spaces. Even though they are large and open, there does seem to be more cover than I initially remember. There's just so much rubble. It's like an entire city's been flattened. And I think in the direction that we're heading now is, you know, the river. Because obviously this is called Volga River. I don't think we ever saw the behemoth in this gameplay that we played on this, but I mean maybe it's the dreadnought kind of like boat ship. I don't know. I'm honestly haven't the foggiest. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the train again, or the airship, because there's no AA really on this map because there's no planes. So I guess the dreadnought will come up along the river maybe. I don't know. That's my guess. That's my wild stab in the dark. If I'm wrong, crucify me in the comments. I think this is the last kind of segment of gameplay in this tank that we're going to see. So I'll start to wrap the video up now. What do you think of this map? Obviously, it just kind of looks like a big white field with lots of rubble in it. But I like that kind of thing. It looks nice. In terms of gameplay, I found it quite fun. I never really got too frustrated with, you know, being killed from certain points or finding it too hard to attack a point I wanted to go to. Look at this tank here, like sniping me from across the map. So this is what I was saying about like using these tanks like wisely and actually making good use of them. So this guy's going to bring me down here with the tank gewehr, and that is the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did like it, please hit like, leave me a comment, tell me what you thought of the map. If you want to check out Galicia, if you haven't seen my video already, I've got some footage on Galicia as well. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.